Welcome to this edition of Chelmsford High School's Lion's Pride. Let's meet our deans and our students of the month. Now I'd like to turn it over to Dean John MacIsaac, the Dean of Whittier House, to introduce his students of the month.
Thank you, Principal Murray. Our first student of the month is Matthew Monnes. Matthew is currently enrolled in AP Computer Science A, AP Literature and Composition, AP Physics C, AP Calculus AB, AP Government and Politics, Studio One, and Reality Check. Matthew is an avid runner. He is a member of the cross-country team, the indoor track team, the outdoor track team at the high school for 4 years. He is a wonderful student, obviously, in the classroom, taking all these AP classes. He is an AP scholar, and he's also a commended student for his performance on the PSAT last spring. Outside of school, Matthew does a lot of work on the AMC trails, volunteering his time there, making sure the trails are suitable for running. He also enjoys more running, hiking, and then some board games with his friends and video games. Life after CHS, he is not sure where he'll be attending, but he's hoping to major in engineering or computer science. Matthew, congratulations.
Thank you.
So computer science is something we've talked about recently. What kind of piqued your interest in computer science and obviously taking multiple courses of computer science here at the high school?
Well, I've always kind of enjoyed playing video games, and that kind of got me into programming as a whole. So sophomore year, I decided to take computer science, and then last year I took programming, and then this year I'm taking CSA. I've kind of shifted my focus away from thinking about making games to now just kind of computer science and engineering in general. And I'm just looking down that path as a possible career choice.
Awesome. Which language are you interested the most in?
I've done a whole bunch of different ones. I've done C, Java, JavaScript. So far, I think I like Java the most out of those, but I mean, I'll probably learn more as I go.
Yeah. For CSA, is it Java-based?
It's Java, yeah.
Good. Running. Mr. Richter, Coach Richter, who speaks very highly of you, of course, he says, you're one of the best. So what has taken you from where you were as a freshman to where you are now as a senior?
Well, when I started running, I wasn't very good at it, but I found like improving myself was just something super, super fun, and I enjoyed the process of it, working hard to achieve my goals, and I watched my times come down over year by year, and just finally being able to be one of the better runners on the team has been just really great experience. Yeah,
you've been recognized as the most improved at one point in time, and also you're a member of the 4x8 team here, who has the school record. Who's that team composed of, and what was your time, and what's the goal this year?
I believe it was me, Marco, Xavier, and Nate, but I could be wrong about that. I believe that was the team. It was kind of an interesting race. Going in, I thought I wouldn't do that good, but I ended up running a pretty decent race. Yeah.
Is 4x8 an indoor or outdoor?
That was outdoor.
Okay, and then everyone's back for this year.
Yeah.
Is there a goal in mind?
It's possible that if I'm on that team again, then we might break it again, but we'll see about that.
Good. Do you prefer like relays, cross country, individual runs? Because you also do the miles. That you're all the mid-distance plus guys.
My favorite's probably the mile, but I do like doing relays sometimes. They're kind of like a little more relaxed, more fun races, but my favorite is definitely the mile, and then after that probably the 2 mile.
Awesome. The community service work you've done with the trail work, what is that? What does that entail?
So every summer, like the last 2 summers, I went to like a trail work weekend where me and some other people volunteer for the AMC, and we like stay the weekend at a camp, and we do trail work on the mountains that weekend. It's pretty fun. You stay over, like eat with the group and sleep with them, and then you like during the day work on the trails. It's fun. It's a fun experience.
Where is that? Where are you?
Well, my camp was at Camp Dodge. I don't know exactly where that is. It's somewhere in the White Mountains.
Very good. Awesome.
Well,
cool.
And what do you do with the trails?
Different kinds of work. Like the first time we built bog bridges. Like we got rid of the old ones, made new ones, and then this year we just did trail clipping and cleaning drainage pipes and things like that. Keep the trail in order.
Awesome. That's great. Well, believe it or not, our time is up. So on behalf of the Chelmsford Rotary Club, sponsors of the program, and Chelmsford administration, congratulations on being one of Whittier House's Students of the Month. Really proud of you. Best of luck the remainder of the year.
Thank you so much.
Now I'd like to turn it back to Dean MacIsaac again to introduce the second Student of the Month from Whittier.
Thank you, Principal Murray. Our second student of the month is Jessica Jerusal. Jessica is currently enrolled in Modern World Literature, Nutrition, Studio One, AP Computer Science Principles, AP Statistics, and AP Research. Jessica is a member of the National Honor Society and the Spanish National Honor Society. Outside of the classroom, she's a little bit of everywhere. She's a member of gymnastics teams, lacrosse teams, volleyball teams, a member of SASA, Women in STEM Club, the Dean's Council, which is a very important group to us deans, the Speech and Debate Club, class reps, and the Book Talk Club. Jess is the current class secretary for the class of 2025 as their senior is getting underway. And it's really ramping up for the spring season. Outside of school, she is an avid gymnast. She competes with gymnastics, she coaches gymnastics, and can be found at the gym when she's not here at the craft fair or at the high school. After life at CHS, she plans to major in finance. Jessica, welcome.
Thank you.
Jess, walk us through being what a class secretary is. It's obviously a big role. There's 4 officers, and your role, besides keeping all of them in check, like what are the specific ins and outs of what you have to do on a daily basis?
I definitely think being a secretary for the class is one thing, but also being a secretary for the other 3. So just kind of like helping out where needed, you know, just making sure that they're all locked in when they need to be. And also, we all just have like such different, you know, we're all so different in every single way that it's so nice that we get to all work together because each of us kind of fill where the other person's missing. Each kind of gives a little more where there needs to be. So I feel like we all work together pretty well in creating events and stuff like that.
I was fortunate enough to have all 4 of you this year, which is unheard of, which is kind of neat. But outside of that, like we just had a big craft fair. I know you and the group, you know, was instrumental in getting that to happen. What's like on the horizon for the senior class as far, especially like your jobs, like the fundraising, the dancing, like stuff like that?
I think definitely like creating new events, I'd say. Like a lot of things we did this year that we've never done before. We did Senior Sunrise, we did Craft Fair year two, which now the next class reps are going to be taking over in February, and then Homecoming, Powder Puff, all these things that we've brought back. I think that it's just really fun to, you know, see, you know, try to do as much as we can do, honestly, just to have fun our last year and get everyone involved. And especially since a lot of these things aren't just a senior thing, hopefully the next classes will be able to continue it down the line and continue to have fun.
Awesome. Are you ready for the spring, you think, for prom and all that
We will
stuff?
be.
Really?
We will be.
Good. Talk about your classes. You've taken a slew of AP classes while you're here. What's been like your favorite class, and what has led you in the direction of finance after Chelmsford High School?
I'd say my favorite class, I love statistics. It is very hard, but I'd say that I really like statistics in that it's more math-based, but it's also real-world application. There's a lot of like, you know, application-based that things that could happen in the real world and things that you wouldn't expect to be statistics related that actually end up correlating with math. And yeah, I'd say statistics is a good one.
Good. Gymnastics, I know it's something that's very dear to you. What kind of led you, I think it's 13 or 14 years of gymnastics,
Yes,
right?
it is.
In that direction and continue to compete and obviously giving back by coaching the littles now.
When I was younger, I went to a gymnastics themed birthday party when I was like 4 years old, I think, and I loved it. I'm pretty sure every girl at some point tried gymnastics, and some stuck with it, some didn't. But for me, it was kind of just like, I loved how there were so many different things. You know, with other sports, you learn how to do something, and that's kind of it. You just get better at what it is. But gymnastics, there's always more to do. You can always do a harder skill. You can always, you know, upgrade in some sort of way. And I think that to me was so much fun that when I was able to give that to new kids and, you know, give them a passion and love for the sport that I've been doing for so long, it's just really awesome to be able to do that.
I know you've had some deadlines because we talked about essays, et cetera. Where have you applied, and are you still applying to other places in the future?
Yes, most of my applications were early action, so I have applied to most of them, but my top choices, I really like NYU, Bentley and Waltham, UPenn, Fordham, so kind of everywhere, I'd say.
It's still pretty East Coast.
Yeah, it is.
Any deciding factors looking for, or is it?
Probably, I do, although I love Massachusetts, I do want to go, you know, branch out a little, just see where it takes me. But yeah, I'd say more East Coast because I do want to stay close to my family and close to home. But, you know, it doesn't have to be Massachusetts based.
There's a lot in the field as well out this way, between
Right.
New York
True.
and Boston, et cetera.
So true. So our time is up. So on behalf of the Rotary Club and the Chelmsford administration, congratulations on being one of Whittier House's Students of the Month. Really proud of you.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you. Best of luck this year. Now let's introduce Dean Erin MacNeil from Emerson House to introduce her Students of the Month.
Our first student of the month for November is Hannah Gemelli. Hannah, thanks for being here with us. You are so involved in the school with clubs, women in STEM and athletics, tennis and soccer. Can you talk briefly about which one of your co-curricular either activities you're involved in or athletics that has been kind of the most impactful of your time here?
I think, I'm not sure about most impactful. I think that all of my clubs are, have been very impactful on me because I'm kind of spread out rather than focused in one place. But I think one of my favorite things is, so I'm a co-president of the book club here. It's called Book Talk. And I think that it's just been really great for me to kind of foster a love of books and people who are younger than me, and who I can be a role model for, and also provide a comfortable, safe space for everybody to come together and just have a good time and talk.
What's your favorite book?
My favorite book? That's a heavy question. I have a lot of favorite books. This one's kind of funny because I think it's really directed towards younger kids, but I really love Stargirl. I don't know if you've heard of that. They have us read it in 7th grade, and I think that they think it's kind of a shallow book, but it's not. It's very deep, and I love rereading that one very often.
So, given all the interest in the clubs you've done, anything that sparks your interest for life after CHS, what do you plan on doing?
Right now I'm looking into civil engineering degree, but if I don't go into civil engineering, I'm definitely going to be STEM focused. I'm not sure if my clubs have fostered that more so as my classes. I think that I really found a love for science classes and math classes at my time here at CHS. But I am involved in the Women in STEM Club, which we do great things there that are related to science and engineering and stuff like that. So that's been really good to boost my morale, to know that there's lots of other girls here who are interested in STEM fields.
Talking about some of the classes you've taken, is there a class here that you'd recommend every student take?
Like an elective?
Anything. Any class.
That's tough. I think that personally my favorite classes are the art classes. I love all of the art classes that are offered here. I've taken probably 6, which is excessive because you only need a couple art credits. But I really just love the freedom that it gives to sit in the studio and just most things that we do are very open-ended, and I just think that creative expression is really important in any field. I mean, for engineering, it doesn't maybe look like it on the surface, but it's definitely it definitely has a lot of creative aspects, and I think that it can be applied to anything that anybody does.
Well, that's excellent. Well, believe it or not, our time is up. So on behalf of the Rotary Club and the Chelmsford administration, I want to say congratulations on being one of Emerson House's Students of the Month of November.
Thank you
We're
very
proud
much.
of you and wish you the best of luck the remainder of this year.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now I'd like to turn it back to Dean MacNeil to introduce her second Student of the Month.
Our second Student of the Month for November is Frankie Yee. Frankie, thanks for being here. You are involved in everything. Anybody in these hallways knows your name because you're everywhere. And one, I want to thank you for your support of your class and the rest of the community. But out of all the things you've done the past 4 years, what kind of has been most impactful on your time here?
I would say probably the most impactful thing that I have done, it would probably be when I first did the craft fair in my junior year. It was in the winter of at the top of the year, and basically it was where all these vendors from around Massachusetts and the New England area just came and basically came to CHS and basically sold their goods and crafts to the people who come by in CHS, and it was a big event, and there were a need for a lot of volunteers to come, and I hadn't done a lot of volunteering events prior to that, so I was a bit nervous about doing it, but when I got on and I helped out the vendors, it actually ended up being a pretty fun experience. And I think it was that event that not only did we like raise a lot of money for class of 2025, but it also just like got me to do a lot more social events and be a part of a lot more stuff here at the school.
Well, Ms. Orsini said, sorry,
Yeah,
that
it
you
was
are
great.
the MVP of that. That is her words, and this year's was even better, so good job. Good job.
It was a great event. Last year compared to this year, both of them were great, but it's amazing. Well done. So what do you plan to do next year? What are your plans?
So I am planning to get a chemical engineering major and go to like a college. I don't have anywhere that's accepted me yet, but I do have like plans to go to like some school like I've applied to schools like all throughout the country.
What got you interested in chemical engineering?
Well, ever since I was very young, I've always had like this. I've always had this interest in chemistry. I've always had this interest in analyzing and testing out reactions. And as for engineering, I've also found an interest in basically just breaking down complicated systems into simple components, and basically tweaking those simple components to make something better. And
That's great. That's excellent. Well, believe it or not, our time is up. So on behalf of the Rotary Club, which sponsored the program, and Chelmsford High administration, congratulations on being one of Emerson House's Students of the Month. Really proud of you and wish you the best of luck the remainder of this year.
thank you.
That's great.
Thank you, Frankie. Congrats.
Now I'd like to introduce Dean Christina Mitza, the Dean of Hawthorne House, to introduce her Students of the Month.
Thank you, Principal Murray. So our first student of the month for Hawthorne House is Sara Karroumi. Sara, welcome. Sara has been very impressive here at CHS. This year is taking some rigorous courses, including AP, French Language and Culture, Anatomy and Physiology Honors, AP Psychology, Calculus 1 CP, Modern World History CP, Nutrition CP, and Physics Honors. All of this hard work has definitely brought you to many places here at CHS, Sara, including the National Honor Society, the National English Honor Society, the National French Honor Society, and the National Science Honor Society. So very good job. You've been working really hard, we can tell. I know you're also involved, Sara, with many clubs and activities here at CHS. One of the clubs, the Red Cross Club. Could you tell us a little bit about that club, Sara?
Yeah, so Red Cross Club is more of a volunteer organization that you could help your community out, and also locally and regionally throughout. We specifically here at Chelmsford High School, we run blood drives. We actually have one coming up next week, November 26th, and we help collect blood and run the blood drives. That the blood gets donated across the U.S. for volunteers who need them. And then we also do thank you cards. We actually did last year for medical personnel. We made holiday cards to give out just to thank our medical personnel for all their hard work throughout, for helping, especially during the winter season when there's a lot of sickness going around. So yeah.
That's great. That's great. And then over the summer, you did a research internship at BU. Did you actually stay at BU for this?
No,
or?
I was commuting back and forth.
Okay. And what were you studying there?
So I studied mosquito olfaction. So I don't know if you guys know, but mosquitoes are the world's deadliest animals. So they're the #1 cause of human death in the world. And so they're trying to study how mosquitoes are attracted to us, what causes them to attract to us, and that causes them to bite us and transmit all these arboviruses like Zika, yellow fever. They're deadly. So specifically my job throughout this research was to raise mosquitoes from when they were eggs to adulthood, and so that all the neurologists and the PhD students in our lab could take those grown adults and study how their brain interacts with various odors, how all the olfactory system works.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You must have learned a lot there.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's great. So it's probably hard to believe that it's already senior year.
Yeah.
And it's already November, right? It flies by for sure. What are the things you're looking forward to most this year before you graduate?
Well, just making more of Chelmsford High School, getting all that I can from these last couple months that I have, especially because I also want to do a senior internship, so my time is a little shortened here. But just taking in, getting involved, doing the clubs and activities, all the school dances, all the school activities, getting involved.
Great. And did I read here that you want to be a pharmacist?
Yes.
Is that right? Wow, that's really great. What made you decide you wanted to do that?
Well, I always knew since I was young that I wanted to be in the medical field. It was like the only field that I ever imagined myself in. And like throughout, like just like discovering all like the medical fields, pharmacy really stood out to me the most. And especially I had my grandfather fell ill over the summer. And it was due to his like overuse of medication and everything. And that really sparked my interest of like learning more about medication, their uses, and like prescriptions and all that stuff that led me narrow down my decision to pharmacy.
Excellent. Great.
Are there any schools you're looking at for that?
Yes, there's Northeastern. That's my top one choice that I've applied to early decision to. And then I've applied to MCPHS, UNE, URI, and WNE.
Wow,
Excellent.
some great choices.
Yeah.
We want to say congratulations on behalf of the Rotary Club, who sponsors the program. Congratulations from the administration at Chelmsford High School.
Thank you.
We wish you the best of luck to senior year, and hope you have a great and exciting senior year.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to turn it back over to Dean Mitza to introduce the second student of the month from Hawthorne.
Thank you. The second student of the month from Hawthorne is Arvind Rao. Arvind comes with many different classes this year as a senior. He's taking a lot of rigorous courses, including AP Computer Science A, AP English Literature and Composition, AP Physics C, Wellness Activities, Nutrition, The Power of Choice, AP Calculus BC, and AP Statistics. So you are very busy. I'm sure you actually have a lot of homework to do after school.
Yeah.
All of this hard work has brought you into the National Honor Society, the National English Honor Society, and the French National Honor Society. So good for you. That's a lot of work over the last 4 years. I know you're also involved in many activities here at CHS, including the Coding Club, LIME, DECA, and more, and then also a part of the track and field team. So do you want to tell us a little bit about LIME and what you do in that club and what kind of things you've done lately?
So LIME was kind of a progressional journey for me. I started out initially in my 10th grade managing the site logistics. So I managed the different location setups of the different events, such as the trick and treat drive-through and the 24-hour relay. And after that, I realized wow, this is actually a lot of fun. Being able to set these events up, and seeing them come to fruition, and seeing everybody in the community really enjoy it was something that I really valued, and something that I wanted to do further. So I kind of continued that in my junior year, and then my senior year, I'm now part of the board. So I kind of oversee all the different committees that are sub-managing these events, sort of site logistics, decorations, etc. And so I kind of get to see everything come together both on a club scale and on a community level scale, and it's been really good so far. One of the most recent events we hosted was the Pumpkin Palooza, where a ton of different community members came together, and a ton of different CHS clubs came and hosted their own activities, and it was really nice just to see everyone having fun, not only the community members and the children, but also the club members as well, being able to have them, or giving them an opportunity to sort of advertise their own club and also different fun activities. So it's just always a really fun experience.
Great, and you must see how much work is really put into all of those events, right, when you're behind the scenes, so that's great.
Yeah.
So I know you've also been involved in track and field. Do you want to talk about kind of ways you've progressed through your time?
Yeah, sure. Year? I think track and field is also kind of a progression for me, similar to LIME, albeit in a slightly different way. In my freshman year, I mainly did sprint, sprints like dash and the 100 meter. And then at the end of my freshman year, Richter decided to have me try hurdles, even though I'm necessarily short for hurdles, right? I was kind of surprised by that, but I gave it a shot. I ended up being really good at it, and from 10th grade to now, I've been solo progressing from MVCs to states and so on. So hoping to potentially make nationals this year, but overall, it's been a really fun experience having that sort of community behind your back to support you in whatever you do, track or otherwise. And I made a lot of fun memories at different track meets, going to get food after track, and also just competing in setting new PRs. So it's always been that sort of constant throughout high school that supported me.
That's great. Great. I know you plan to study computer science and engineering
Yeah.
for your college. Yeah. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, that's definitely still the plan. I might potentially also do something related to business too, mostly because of my experience in DECA. That's also influenced my interest in business, but mostly computer science and engineering is what I've most wanted to do, mostly because I've done a lot of different projects that have involved myself in computer science. Like I made a custom room monitor, and I've also made like personal apps for myself that help just simplify everything and simplify my tasks for me. And I kind of want to pursue that at a higher level and potentially like innovate stuff for not just myself, but for other people as well. And so computer science is another avenue for me to do that.
That's great.
Wow, I want to say that sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
So I want to say congratulations on behalf of the Rotary Club and Chelmsford administration. Congratulations on being one of Hawthorne House's Students of the Month. We're proud of you, and we wish you the best of luck this year.
Thank you so much.
Take care. This concludes our latest edition of Lions Pride. I want to thank our deans for their thoughtful words and beautiful summaries of each recipient. I would also like to thank the Chelmsford Rotary Club for their unending support of this great program. Congratulations to all of this month's Students of the Month. On behalf of the Chelmsford Rotary and the deans, thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next time.